memories from the past year in DC, which is definitely one of the highlights of my year every year, which is the Transformer Auction Gala. I think everyone here who has attended has a great memory from a Transformer auction, opening, or event over the years. So the mission of Transformer, which is located here in DC, has always been dedicated to connecting and promoting emerging artists, arts leaders, and strengthening community by supporting emerging artists. They've been a steadfast supporter of this community for almost 2 decades, and led by the incredible Victoria Reese, who I am thrilled to welcome to the Zoom platform. Hey, Victoria, are you there? Let's see.
My video. So I'm sorry, I'm having a technical issue. I'm trying to enter the meeting ID and it's rejecting it.
Oh no.
So I'm not really sure what to do here because my presentation was really based on everyone looking at my website and Instagram, which I'm not sure you're going to be able to see now. I'm not really sure what to do.
Let's see.
Maybe it'll open up my screen share. Are you?
We can see your screen.
Okay, so you're all right. Well, sorry you won't be able to see me, especially since I just took a shower. But let me get back into Transformer's website, which is one thing you can see. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, I'm sorry. So you all can see Transformer's website.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll start there. So Transformer did a really quick pivot when the pandemic was officially announced. And we had this gorgeous exhibition, which yesterday is tomorrow, that was set to open on March 14th. It's fully installed inside of our space, and sadly we had to, of course, cancel the opening, but we have quickly reimagined programming around this exhibition to further the ideas that the artists are exploring. I'm going to try to see if I can also get into one other, sorry. Sorry guys, bear with me. Okay, so which yesterday is tomorrow is an exhibition really kind of inspired by the idea of an artist, Caravan Sarah, a caravan meeting place for artists to exchange ideas. So the artists, Dalia El Sayed and Andrew Demarjian, who are based in Newark, New Jersey, did this incredible installation where they brought in, that's Dalia and Andrew. They are both artists from the Swana diaspora, and they completely reimagined, revisioned the Transformer space, transformed the Transformer space into this gorgeous artist Caravan Sarah for artists meant to come and exchange ideas, exchange concepts. I'll just quickly share some images. I mean, it's It's like Sleeping Beauty lying in wait inside of our space. They also invited artists, peer artists from throughout the Swana diaspora to contribute pieces, artifacts. So all of these pieces that you see on these shelves are works that different artists contributed. Some other installation views. The artists also very quickly did a pivot with us, and thankfully, while they were still there in DC in the space, as you know, the pandemic was hitting March 12th or being announced March 12th, and shutdowns were becoming very imminent. They did several videos in the space. So where they give people a guided tour of the work and the different concepts that are in the exhibition. This became a jumping off point for us to then have 10 different artists, one each week, take over our Instagram story to do a virtual online artist Caravan Sarah. And so we have 10 different artists who have been taking over our Instagram story. You can see them on our Instagram page, which I'm clicking on here. This is the current artist. And we reached out to artists based globally to have a conversation about their work, what's inspiring them now. We reached out to artists based in Italy who we worked with previously. We have an artist based in Paris. We have an artist based in Greece participating. And then we have artists from throughout the DC region. And they're posting every day, each week, and it's sort of expanding this idea of the Caravan Sarah. And then we did a further pivot, just thinking through, and you can see, you know, everything, there's lots in here. All of the Instagram stories have been documented. I'll keep that up for a minute. Go back to our website. So then we also, this Saturday, tomorrow, with Dahlia and Andrew, they are leading a panel discussion. This is a panel that they had intended to do in our space. It's now going to be an online Zoom panel. We're really excited that, you know, Zoom only allows 100 participants. We're already up to, I think, 90 participants. So it was really exciting to get that level of responsiveness and sign up for this. They are in conversation with 2 historians, as you can read here, Emily Newmeyer and Joshua Michael White, and they're going to be both discussing the rich history of social spaces and methods for transcultural exchange that can inform the future, and how those conversations can happen now. How can we foster and sustain meaningful artistic dialogue and connections during this pandemic moment? So I encourage people to get into those last spots on that Zoom panel happening tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And then here you can see, this is a listserv that we sent out earlier this week, but this was our pivot on March 23rd. So on March 23rd, we sent out a listserv post detailing all of these things that we would be doing every week, every day of the week, to be continuing to advance our programs and to support artists. So all of the artists who are participating in the Artist Online Caravan Sarah that I mentioned earlier, we provide all of those artists honoraria. Everyone's getting paid to participate in that. That was an immediate something that we could do to be funding artists. Then the Which Yesterday is Tomorrow work is continuing to happen. Every Monday, a new artist takes over our Instagram story. I'm jumping around a little bit because I want to get back to different programs, but every Wednesday, the Which Yesterday is Tomorrow artists are posting something to our Instagram main page, or staff is posting something related to that exhibition. On Thursdays, we do a Throwback Thursday, looking backward and looking forward, different artist ideas and concepts, artists who we've supported over the past 17 years, what they're doing now, and what work they may have presented with Transformer previously, and how it's currently resonating and informing moving forward. And then on Fridays, we are doing our Flatfile Friday program, where every Friday we are featuring a different artist from our Flatfile program. We have an online Flatfile store, which I'm featuring right now. And this represents about 40 different artists, all based within the DMV region. So you can see these are the main pages for each of the artist profiles. And all of these works are based under $500. So we've been really, it's been amazing actually. We've been very actively pushing these artists and their work to audiences and to donors and collectors. And we've been consistently making sales of work from the Flatfile to support artists. Artists receive 70% of all sales. It's something that we can do to get money to artists right away. And then 30% goes to Transformer to help continue support our operations. So this has been a really great opportunity for us to not only through the Instagram, here, let me go to the most recent. So you can see this post is promoting the work of Ashley Van Gemeren, and we give a little bit of bio about Ashley. We connect to her Instagram, so we're promoting people to also go and look at Ashley's work. And then this is a piece of hers that's in the Flatfile, and we actually posted several pieces of her work. So every Friday we're doing this to promote a different artist. Let me go back to our main page. Another project that we did to quickly pivot and be responsive to artists and also community when the pandemic was first hitting was a project called Phone Call. Artist Ginevra Shea, artist and curator Ginevra Shea, based in Baltimore, reached out to Transformer. She reached out to me and she said, I have a concept for a project I'd really like to pursue. Would Transformer consider supporting this and funding this? And I immediately said yes, because it's such a beautiful project. And it was a way for us to immediately support a group of about 20 artists. And it was also a way for us to provide some comfort to the community. So through Ginevra, registration was set up, and more than 240 people registered to receive a phone call from an artist. And this list of artists here made the phone calls where they read poems to people over the phone. They sang songs, they spoke about art, and it was just a really gorgeous project that went, the initial round was just 2 weeks. Artists made about 20-minute phone calls to people. And there's a beautiful press piece that came out in Be More Art about the project, softening social distancing, poets and listeners connect through phone call. So this is just some images of some of the poems that were read, some of the artists, as they were making the calls. Some of the calls were virtual. Most of them were just directly over the phone. Beautiful piece. I encourage people to read and learn a little bit more about that project. And we're currently in the process of looking for funding to continue that program. Transformer does a lot of different temporal programs. I mean, you can see on our website the archive of all the different projects that we've done. And we really encourage artists and emerging curators to reach out to us if they have a concept that they're interested in pursuing. We are still actively pursuing grants and pursuing work to support artists. So we're very open to artists contacting us with project proposals. Let's see. Going back to the homepage. Then additionally, on part of our Transformer Goes digital format, on Fridays, we also post new artist resources to our website. We have an ongoing list of artists, or resources for artists, resources that are being shared with us by colleagues nationally and internationally. So this is replenished every Friday. Artists can go to our website and find all different opportunities on grants, on fellowships, on residency programs, lots of relief funds, and this is constantly getting replenished. So really encourage artists to take advantage of this free resource that we are offering to help them find ways to further sustain themselves in their work. Then final project that is currently listed on our Transformer Goes Digital is our Exercises for Emerging Artists program. And this is not quite a public program yet. However, it is something we are actively working on. Every year for the past 17 years, we've been doing a program called Exercises, where we invite a group of DC area artists, usually it's a group of 4 to 6 artists, to participate in rigorous biweekly peer critique and mentorship with visiting artists. This year, every year it focuses on a different artistic discipline. The artists are provided extensive honoraria. The mentorship sessions usually start in early March and go through early June, and then they culminate in an exhibition at Transformer. That you can see the list of all the different disciplines that we've worked with, we focused on over the years. We had already decided in fall 2019 that for this year's program, we want to focus on zines and artists that were doing zine-based art pieces. Christopher Cardambekis, who is assistant professor and director of Navigation Press via the George Mason University, is our lead mentor, working with our exhibitions and programs coordinator, Katie Lee, to facilitate the biweekly peer critique and mentor sessions. Here you can see the list of participating artists in this year's program, and these are the mentors who are participating. Katie actually is leading a studio visit with the artists with Resolve Studios right now. So this why I'm making this presentation. It's slightly technically challenged, but it was exciting for us that thinking about the concepts of zines and given this pandemic and that we would not be able to do an exhibition over the summer, that we retooled this program so that we could still support all of the artists and their participation. And because they're creating zines that can be mailed and also shared digitally, we're supporting the artists in printing zines through a press. We're still working out budgeting and all of that, but each of the artists will be funded to produce a limited edition zine. We will be mailing them out to people. We'll also make them available online digitally so that broader audiences can experience the work. So those were the projects that we started an immediate pivot on to support artists. And as I said at the beginning, all of the artists participating in these programs are provided honoraria, material support. So we are still very actively funding artists. Since March 14th, we have funded over 50, actually over 60 artists at this point. It's a mix of, mostly modest honoraria, but, we're really proud and honored that we could be able to continue to fund artists in that way. Now moving forward into the summer, we are reimagining our Collectors View series. This has been a series, it's a development program. It has been a series where we have invited people into different collectors' homes to view their collection, engage around how these artists approach building their collections, how they engage with artists, how they engage with galleries, how they engage with museums, critics. Obviously, we're not in a moment where we can have people going into private homes for receptions to talk about contemporary art. So we have, thankfully, Long & Foster, who's been our sponsor of the series, is continuing to support us. And we're reimagining this so that now it will be a series of about 25 videos that will air daily during the month of June, Monday through Friday, with collectors from throughout the Northeast region speaking about one work in their collection, why that work is so important to them, how it is so important to be living with artwork, and their support of artists. So that's one program that we'll have launching soon into the summer. More to be announced on that in May. Then additionally, we are reimagining our Siren Arts program, which has been a summer residency program taking place at the beach in Asbury Park, New Jersey, which is my home base now. I've been commuting back and forth to DC running Transformer for the past 3 years. So actually I've been working virtually with my team for a while now, although it felt like I was in DC every week from March back to September. Anyway, so this has been such a gorgeous program. I mean, nothing can really compare to artists doing these performance art pieces on the beach. We support about 7 different artists based within the Northeast corridor of DC to New York. They each come to the beach for a 1-week residency that's fully funded. We provide them housing at a boutique hotel. This is Maps Glover from last summer. And they receive honoraria. They are set up with opportunities, if they want them, to engage with the community and work with area youth and peer emerging artists, all of whom receive honoraria. Um, and their residencies culminate in a Thursday evening performance on the beach. This was a really, of all the programming we do, this was the hardest one to realize that we were not going to be able to do it. But at least we weren't going to be able to do it in the way that we have for the past 3 years. It's a young program. It would be entering its 4th year this summer. So we've reimagined it, and we are working with Randall Packard, who you might remember from the virtual town hall that was hosted about a week or so ago. And we are looking into Crowdcast as a platform to now do these performances online over the summer. Still committed to the artists that we had invited to be in the program. We'll still be able to provide them with honoraria support, but now the performances will still focus on concepts of ocean. This year's program is called Fluxus Sea, so the artists will be both engaging in Fluxus oriented, or they'll be responding to Fluxus practice, and still doing work that is responding in some way to the sea, to the ocean. That can be in very broad terms. And this is a program that we have launching in July, August, with Thursday early evening performances. So we're just starting to dig into that. And then the last program I'll speak about really briefly, because I know I'm at the end of my time or a little over it, is that Transformer did receive a grant from the DC Commission on the Arts Sister Cities program. Our project was to bring DC artists to Seoul, Korea. We would have been on that trip right now. Sadly, that wasn't feasible. However, we have reimagined that project. So now we will have DC artists working with artists based in Seoul to do mapping of how they now identify community. And that will take many different shapes and forms. Still a lot to be determined there, but we're thrilled that we were able to quickly reimagine what the program would look like, get the continued support of the commission, and be able to move forward with that. A very important time to be having dialogue with artists based in Korea, especially given how there has been so much racial divide happening within Asia, towards Asian communities. And we, are really excited to be able to have the opportunity to connect DC-based artists with artists based in Seoul, and to look at how they are mapping communities. So more on that TBD.
Thanks so much, Victoria. This is so incredible. I already have my summer plan for, seeing Siren Arts performances, whether they're online or not. I think that there's so much here, and the work that you guys are doing and have been doing to support artists is really incredible and super inspirational. And I think that, everyone in the chat here is also, just really excited to kind of see what happens. But thank you so much for joining.